So talk to us a little bit about your story, because I know very tragically you lost your brother at 15. Can you tell us more about what happened?
Yeah, absolutely. So my story starts in 2017 when back then I had absolutely no idea what mental health was. No one had ever talked to me about it. No one had ever explained that to me. And then my younger brother Sam, who was 15 at the time, was diagnosed with clinical depression, and I had absolutely no idea what that was. And then obviously 3 months later, in January 2018, very, very unexpectedly, Sam took his own life at home. And me and my mum found him, and I had to perform CPR for 25 minutes. And that experience was absolutely horrendous. And then in the weeks and months afterwards, I realized that actually so many people were feeling really lonely, were feeling really sad, were feeling, really awful. And mental illness was, had become so rife within my school community, within my friends. And I really wanted to do something to open that conversation. And I started campaigning for improved mental health awareness, but also improved support. And that's why you see me with the likes of the Prime Minister talking about how we can improve education, improve support within schools to stop people from getting worse and to stop people from going through what my brother had to go through, and obviously how that obviously ended.
But so how did you, Ben? So how did you then cope with? Because obviously having to perform CPR on your brother and then having to go through that, I mean, that must be harrowing. That's awful. How did you recover from that? I mean, obviously it's still in recovery in terms of a constant ongoing battle. But what was your coping mechanism?
Honestly, to start with, if you'd asked me that question 3 years ago, I would have said, oh, yeah, I'm coping so well, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. But I didn't cope for a very, very long time. And I sort of pushed it to the back of my mind. I didn't really think about it. I tried to pretend to people that I was feeling okay. And my recovery started actually at the same time that I started writing this book, when I started learning more about my own emotions, about mental health, about, how I can look after myself. And I started to really, when I was writing the book, I wrote it last summer, and I sort of sat there and I wrote, and it's incredibly emotional and it's incredibly honest. And I started writing, and I started particularly writing about what happened that night. And some of the things that happened. And a lot of memories came back to me, and I sort of experienced it for a second time and remembered a lot that happened. And that, for me, was an incredible opportunity to process what actually happened and realize just how bad that was, and sort of learn about, how my brain was working and affected by that trauma. So that I could be a little bit more compassionate to myself when that is affecting my day to day. But it is a process, you're right. And that's what this book tries to get to. It's a fact that it's about learning, it's about adapting, it's about understanding yourself a little bit better. Because then we can overcome those barriers and those challenges that we face in life just that little bit better. And obviously, most challenges that people face are not as significant as this. But everyday challenges, when learning about your mental health, getting more able to deal with your own mental health and look after yourself a bit better, that can help you in every aspect of your life.